Okay, there we go. Yep, testing again. Yep. Had a feeling that was going to happen at some point. Usual Windows update shenanigans and having to change the scenes and everything else, blah, 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 blah. Right, so this was what we originally was going to watch last week, Labyrinth. But before that, the usual reminder for anybody who hasn't joined us before, this is a reaction watch. Hey, good evening, and thank you very much for the 82-month subscription there. Fantastic. Well, let's put a brief look on the train of thought. Right, let me start again. So, for anybody who hasn't joined us before, BYOC basically means bring your own copy. Essentially, we won't be actually seeing any video on this. This will just be like a watch-along reaction where we chat, react to stuff that happens on it. That's why we have the timer along the bottom, so it can sync up with what we're watching. So if you join later, or you have to pause for whatever reason, or whatever, then you can sync up and we can be at the same same point in the movie by in a few seconds, which will be, sorry, I've got to make sure this doesn't fall off. There we go. So right, tonight's one, Labyrinth. Yeah, as I was saying, this was eventually going to be. Wow, I really can't talk tonight. I'm going to start again. Last week, Labyrinth was the film we were supposed to be watching. Good to go, cool. Unfortunately, I had some, let's just say, digestive issues. You don't want to know the details, but so this has been postponed to today. Now, this is a bit of a, depending upon who you speak to, this is either a weird film or a classic, but I think it's kind of both. Now, this originally came out in, and I'm just reading off the little blurb here. This originally came out in 1986. Woman said 96 there. Bloody hell. And it stars Jennifer Connelly, and somebody you may have heard of called David Bowie, a very memorable role, let's just put it like that. Now, it's not a particularly long film. It's only just over smidgen over 90 minutes, but it's one of those sort of ones that if you grew up in the 80s, there was a whole series of films where they were really just starting to push boundaries with what they could do, practical effects wise. No, CGI wasn't a major thing, although it did exist, but it wasn't something that many of them used. So pretty much I would say maybe 99% of any effects that you see here will be done practically, or with some clever crack camera trickery, when they do like a projection and then they film it, but they've done something to the projection so it looks slightly different, or you get like double images, stuff like that. So I wouldn't call it practical effects, but I wouldn't call it CGI. It's in that kind of little transitional period, but some of them are really, really good. Now, there was obviously Tron that was out roughly the same sort of time that was CGI. I mean, that was kind of the point. It was literally set in a computer. So, but this one has some amazing scenes in it. Plus, I believe a lot of puppetry in it from the Jim Henson people. If you're ever familiar with the Muppets, Sesame Street, or stuff like that, Fraggle, or bloody hell, Fraggle Rock. Yeah, that Fraggle Rock. That was a Jim Henson's production, wasn't it? Their puppets have a very distinctive sort of look and style to them. It's difficult to put into words, but when you see them, you can go like, yeah, that's a Henson studio puppet. Like, even horrible, like he says in quotes there, creatures look friendly. Dark Crystal. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, Dark Crystal, I think, is probably the darkest that they've ever done in terms of both look and the storyline. If young adult, should we say, the genre was really prominent back then, I would have called Dark Crystal in that sort of not quite fully a kids' film, but it's, I'm going to have a look to see if it's on here actually before I forget. Excuse me. I don't remember seeing it because I know they did an update version as well. But let's have a look. Yeah, there's Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, which is supposed to be decent. Oh, it is. Wow. And Dark Crystal came out in 1983. Ooh. It is fantastic. That's good to know. So that's a strong maybe. Let's just put it like that. Just in case anything else crops up, maybe it goes, ooh, no, I really want to see that type of thing. But yeah, it came out in 83, and it is a little bit more darker compared to this. Now, I say darker, but like all good Jim Henson stuff, there's always like an underlying message. And it's not like blatantly in your face, but it is one of your favourite, the two, personally, one of your all-time favourite films. I can remember Dark Crystal, and there's a couple of scenes in it which I can remember as a kid watching it and being, that's messed up. And then a few years later watching it again. Like, not in a bad way. Well, it is kind of bad, but I won't say more for anybody who hasn't seen it, but honestly, it is one of those, it's almost like a genre defining film. Oh, hello. You come to join us, are we? Right. You're going to... All right, thank you. I know. So, I think without further ado... oh, yes, one more thing before we start on this. Well, actually, two more things. The first is when we start, I will do a 5 countdown in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, everyone will press play. Somebody pointed something out for this film. And because it's been a few years since I've seen it, I want to see if I can spot it. But apparently, at the beginning of the film, in like the first opening scene or two, there is a reference or a clue to practically everything you're about to see in the rest of the film. Like, it's one of the songs you don't sort of think, no, it can't be, but then you're like, hang on. Wait a minute. And then you watch it again and you'll be going like, but that's the... Oh. And I'm not going to say any reason why, but just watch the opening few scenes and pay attention to what you know, not just obviously what's going on, but have a look in the background as well. Right. Oh, sorry. Cables will tangle out because of the cat. Okay. So get yourselves ready. I'm going to undo the same before. And again, I do generally recommend people to put on subtitles. You don't have to do it, but I found that it can help, you know, especially on some of the older films where the audio levels can be not as balanced as well, or, you know, there's lots of stuff going on. But again, you don't have to put them on if you don't want to. It's just a recommendation, and I always tend to as well. Okay, especially when you know, because it's also like sometimes they'll give like nice little, not so much clues, but like for example, when we were watching Godzilla last time, when Ghidorah was first shown, he was called by the characters in the film as Monster Zero. So the subtitles were actually listed as Monster Zero. But once he got his title, King Ghidorah, within the film, the subtitles changed whenever, you know, he made his screeching noises and declarations and stuff like that. They changed to King Ghidorah. And it's just not... I like it when they do little touches like that. But okay. So... let me just do a quick double check to make sure that I've got the thing right. I think it's this. Ignore that for the moment. Okay. So, there we go. We do a 5 counting. 5 leading, I think they call it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, no, hang on. There we go. Violence, foul language, flashing images. This is rated as 13 plus. I'm going to my picture of my tango. Blimey, I'll try Star. There's a name I haven't seen for a while. So yeah, watched Henson Associates Incorporated, a Lucasfilm. Oh wow, Lucasfilm, a Jim Henson film. and this is probably has one of the most memorable songs in this. So yeah, I said there wasn't that much CGI in it. This opening sequence is probably the most CGI from the entire film. Yep, David Bowie. Jennifer Connelly. Now, again, this is another one of those sort of films that I think, looking back on things, has definitely contributed to my appreciation of the fantasy genre for that's a pretty L for games like D&D and yep, that is David Bowie singing the soundtrack. Again, this is why I like to say put the subtitles on. Brian Henson, yep. Oh my god, I forgot Frank Oz is in this. Frank Oz is a composer and performer, Dave Bowie, yeah. He is one of those voice actors that has done a lot of work for voices in the 80s, 90s, and I believe, and please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe he also did the OG voice for Yoda. I believe. Oh, seeing Jim Henson's name. You know, Terry Jones. Oh my god, I forgot Terry Jones is one of the Monty Python crew. I forgot he was involved in this. Yeah, wow. George Lucas is the executive producer. And of course, directed by Jim Henson. Little transition there. There's a lovely landscape. It's a beautiful owl. Swan in the background. Oh, what? So I have a cat on my lap being very demanding. And now it's raining. That must be the UK. Clue. Clue number 1 has been spotted. And that's a great name for a dog. Oh, that's such a lovely dog. I'm definitely not in the UK. Yeah. Lots of David Bowie songs in this because, Dulux, that's what I remember. Thank you. Yes, Dulux. I imagine it was in the US and other countries as well as the UK, but Dulux Paint, one of the, for reasons I can't even remember why, their mascot was basically the dog. It looks very much like the dog. Like that dog. Obviously not in that poor condition. Ah, poor doggo. That is a great name for a dog, though, Merlin. teenagers. And I say this as an ex-teenager myself. It's like, don't blame them, but it's just like, yeah, this scene here, look at everything, especially what's going on in the background. See where the wild things are. That's not. Yep. Mm-hmm. This is not so much of Chekhov's gun, more as Chekhov's rapid firing cannon. Yeah. Now, to be fair, I know this was being a teenager is freaking rough. It very much is. I'm not disparaging that, especially for the young ladies. And I'm not putting that in a derogatory way. Lots more pressures than when you were a young fella. All very Nope. See what I mean by the puppets? Very distinctive look to them. Poor baby. I like that they don't really faff around with backgrounds. It's like, yeah, this is the plot. This is what's going on. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, I've got a cat on my lap being very clingy. I mean, the poor baby's got colic. She's stressed out over her plaything that she's learning. Thinks she's been neglected by her parents and now she's got to deal with a colicky baby, and that's worrying. Like when the dog's been barking and then it just suddenly stops. You're like, um, that's worrying. Hmm. Yep. There's a reason why he's not crying. Because he ain't there anymore. And obviously, again, this was a sort of family, not necessarily a film for kids. It's definitely what I would call a family acceptable film. Even though there's was probably a few scenes that as an adult you realise are, damn. And that for me is the mark of a good family friendly film, is that kids watch it and just be like, goblins. Adults will watch it and be like, oh no. Like, where's the baby? Yeah, just seeing those in the background, that's terrifying. Yeah, this is definitely some kids' first horror film if you think about it. Now what they call it? Oh, oh, is this him? There he is. Please, but David Bowie was the perfect choice for this film. Like, eyeball. But, that was quite impressive. That I was going to make a comment about David Bowie's ball control, but I resisted. Shit. Those goblins are great. Hmm. What do I call it? A matte painting projection. The, oh. Hmm. So I just realised what that labyrinth reminds me of. If you've ever seen Hellraiser 2. Yeah, I've just realised where they got the inspiration for that labyrinth from was from this film. Because it looks very similar to that. Not exactly, it's a little bit more straight, but it's similar enough to make you go, I wouldn't have been surprised if the person who designed it for Hellraiser 2 watched this as a kid. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to put that labyrinth into a horror film. Yeah, yeah. And I said at the beginning, pay attention to the scenes. Dude was having a whiz in the pool. No, no, they're fairies. Fairies are evil. They're evil. They're psychotic little buggers. Told you. Yep. Fairies in most mythologies are evil little shits. Yeah. Right. But that door wasn't there a second ago. Hmm. Hmm. See, that's all practical set that work. I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks like the budget wasn't particularly high, but they did a damn good job with what they did have. Now, especially fantasy films were what's the way to put it? They never really got the higher budgets. Now, that's a question, left or right. Yep. Now, there's a lot. What do they call it? Bit of character growth for Sarah in this film. I think one of the reasons why they had to sort of show her that she was a bit temperamental at the beginning. Because it's not exactly a long film or a series where they can show how she realizes things. Look at that. That's both creepy and adorable at the same time. Oh, so apparently the owl in the title sequence is computer generated and is the first attempt at a photorealistic CGI animal character in a feature film. I'm looking at the X-ray thing. I mean, 486, that wasn't bad. And that for 86, that was bloody good. See, you're starting to learn. I mean, personally, I'd try and crawl up the wall so I can see across the labyrinth, but no, I imagine that would be classified like being a cheat. Good for the time, yeah, definitely, 100%. I think that's something people have to take into consideration when watching older films is the the time in which they were made. Now, obviously, that's not excusing for things now like racism, misogyny, and other isms and stuff like that. But just to take into account. Voice, English accent. Oh, I remember that caterpillar. Yeah, he says it the British way, innit? Adorable, cute little worm. The fact she's sitting talking to a worm doesn't bother her. Oh, you can see the CGI there, the composition there. There we go. There's lesson number one. Yeah, it's not an illusion. Well, it's what's the word? An optical illusion. Like, you know the bit in Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade when he's walking across the path. Yeah, the whole thing. I know, right? It looks like it's like magic, but it's not. It's just a very, very well designed optical illusion. Now, even now, without any CGI, how freaking good and perfectly lined up was that sequence? Yeah. Oh, I think we're about to get the song. Probably the most infamous or famous song, I should say, from this film. And dear God, those are some tight pants. Yeah, here we go. So they got random chickens. And you think about it, right? That young lad there who's playing the baby, Toby. So, done anything memorable in your life? Yeah, I was the babe that David Bowie sang Magic, the Babe song. Now, also bear in mind that each of these puppets are either, little people or puppeteers. Now, you can kind of tell which are the puppets and which are the ones who are just people dressed up. But can you imagine that being like you go to the set one day and then the next thing you know, you're dressed up like a goblin. And that's actually pretty smart. However, that's a problem. Sounded borderline Italian there as well. $13. Like the puppets are so well done. Yeah, that would be me. It's like, yeah, I'll just lie here. You can see if you've ever seen Dark Crystal, which we might be watching next week, fingers crossed. You can definitely see, shall we say, influences. Was it the Skeksis? What are they called? I'm actually trying to work out how they did some of those puppets moving, like the one on the right there. Oh bloody hell, that could have gone bad. Because it, I mean, unless they just edited it, metaphorically edited out the wires, which is possible. Sort of pre CGI changing. Hmm. Hello. Hey. Certain death. Yep. Oh yes, the two guard thing. Yeah, it's it's a classic for a reason. It's like, and this is how you answer it. Yep. There you go. That's how you do it. Yeah, most. Yeah, that is literally how you answer it. But I can exactly. Yeah, so they're not actually really. It's brilliant how they do this with the hands. I mean, it's creepy, but it's also very, very well done. Hmm. Was a certain death, was it? Oubliette. It's a great word, oubliette. Laugh, damn you. Remember rightly, an oubliette's like a sort of prison cell type thing. Mm-hmm. Great word. It's kind of like a prison cell. But the whole point is you just put them there and then just leave them. Now again, considering what she's been through in like, well, from her point of view, it's only been a few hours. She's handling this remarkably well. A bottle dungeon. There's one at the castle here down at the bit. There's I won't give away my exact place of where I live, but I live in southeast England, and there's a fair few castles within a acceptable travelling distance, and I'm pretty sure most of them have an oubliette. I know there's, I think the Tower of London's got one, and that's technically a car. In fact, it is a castle. I mean, look how expressive that mask face is on Hoggle. So yeah, yeah, it's obviously like a little person in there. I'm using little person because I know some of them prefer to be called dwarves, some prefer to be called midgets, but you do that on an individual basis. You know, if somebody wants to be called a dwarf, I'll call them a dwarf. Seriously, this would, if you think about it, this would make a fantastic TTRPG session for like kids as well. And yeah, 100% it would be. just, do, just doing my job. Like that's such as like, oh come on. Damn, that was impressive. People keep getting his name wrong. Bog of Eternal Stench. That is a great name. And yeah, so I think he's I mean, yeah, he's been a dick, but he's also right. Yeah, that's terrifying. Yeah, that is really freaking terrifying. Remember, this is a family-friendly film. That almost cracked me up. It's like, you think it's this big death machine? No, it's just three goblins on a bicycle. uh, which, if you think about it, it's a good way of sort of like showing kids. It's like, yeah, scary things aren't always as scary. They can be quite simple. It's stinky. That's that's not good. It's like, did you notice that vase was like on the table with nothing underneath it? It's like dealing with your younger sibling. You just yeah, put your hand on their head and like, nope, stay away. And there's lesson number two. That's an impressive hat. Asking the right questions. See, she's learning. Sorry, I've just had a revelation about this character. I'll put him in a second. Yeah, they've had to have done that. Okay, I play a game every so often called Warframe, and there's in the last but one expansion, they added in a character called Bird 4, who was, and I am now 90% sure they got the inspiration for that character from this because it's almost identical. Like the way they speak and the way they act, which is very, very possible, again, considering the devs are about my sort of age, so they probably would have watched this, or at least on the reruns. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be at all surprised if the devs have put the character in based on that. Maybe not consciously, maybe subconsciously. But it wouldn't surprise me. I love the way that sort of like the real stuff blends into the painting in the background there. Quite quite seamlessly, really. Yep. Oh, that's disturbing. Hmm. Yep. Make them fight each other. Again, this is actually a pretty good idea. And the subtitles there have got a little bit of an error. It said my aching sushi. That's not what he said. Ah, Ludo. Imagine the blood rushing to his head. It's like, oh god, this is really unpleasant. And now he's got a concussion. Ludo got concussion. You know, sitting down, he's like almost as tall as she is. Like, I'm gonna have a migraine, but yeah, I'll be alright. Oh, feel sorry for him. See, I would still try and climb up and go at least get a view to see if I'm going in the right direction every so often. But yeah, the doors. One can't hear, one can't speak. Hmm. Again, pretty smart move, but if he didn't breathe, you would have been there for a while. Ludo's a big boy. Ah, yes. Very swampy. Or maybe what one might call a bog. Those goblins are brilliant. Like, each one's different. Hmm. And there's lesson three. It's helping to take care of those who need it. Like a helpless baby, maybe. Oh, that's very well done. Oh, that's very well done. I remember seeing that before. That was really good. Come on, mind your butt. Oh, oh, and he said his name properly that time. Oh, yeah. Never accept food from a fey creature. I mean, that's essentially what he is, both as a character and David Bowie. Yeah, Jareth is definitely a fey. You know, acquiring children. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I am. Yeah, yep. A sort of cruelty to them. We're talking old school fey creatures now, not elves, fey. The ones that a lot of them, the old mythologies would warn you about and things like that. That's just Crump's cousin. That's creepy. Oh, yeah. This is Slasher's. I'm sure it's Slasher's Crump. Jabba the Hutt's little minion. This is definitely one sort of thing. Imagine if you had consumed certain substances and watching this, it'd be like. So, this is why you don't eat cheese before you go to bed. That can't be. That's got to be risky. I mean, what if your head goes in the fire? There's a question. If they can separate their heads from the bodies, can they swap the heads over? And that's a disturbing thought. Swapping body parts like that. Those eyes. Those eyes have seen some shit. Yep, there goes the leg. Did that just go a bit blotchy? Like, pixelated? Yeah. And therein lies the flaw of that evolutionary trait. That is terrifying. No, I don't think she does want to take her head off. Yeah. We said something would happen if she kissed him. Yes, I am juvenile, mentally speaking. It's basically just constant burping and farting. Again, the captions are going like bog belches. That's that's got to be absolutely repugnant. What? Ludo. It's you're sitting on not a pleasant way to go. That part of me is wondering, like, if that is really bad, if there's methane there, would you be able to set fire to it? So having said that, if it's got methane and sulfur in it, that thing will go up like a freaking nuke. Yeah, I suspect when you get. Oh! Right in the. Right in the Ludos. Ah, small creature syndrome. Yeah, yeah, we all know Ludo could just like kick him into orbit. Yeah, high strength versus high dexterity, basically. What a great name, Sir Didymus. There you go. She's thinking. Take it literally. See, no one's probably asked before, so it's like, yeah. And then you break it. Oh, and I bet that's ripe. Yeah, remember, he's got like a telekinesis when it comes to the rocks. And again, just hearing in the background. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, still going to be a bit ripe. I mean, there's someone in that suit wearing that. was like, right, yeah, in this scene, you got to summon some rocks and walk over them without falling in. Hmm. Now, where have we seen that dog before? Yeah. I was like, yeah. Where have we seen that dog before? I was trying to think, what was it? Persephone and Hades. That was it. That was one of the old myths about if Persephone ate something, she had to. I think it was Persephone, like, and the pomegranate seeds. I can't remember the exact details, but it's like if she ate anything, she was then bound to the realm or something like that. It's that same sort of logic. If you eat something offered to you by a fey creature, you are like bound to them or something like that. There's a lot of myths that have that kind of food related. You are bound to the person who gave it to you thing. Of course, now there's the old biblical thing about what would you call it? The fruit of the tree of knowledge and all that. Now, now the drugs kick in. Yeah, the drugs are definitely kicking in. Imagine how much must have practiced to do that. Bye, Yeah, she's basically just eating a hallucinogenic peach. Like, yeah, have this, you'll see some shit. I love the design of Syndidimus. Just a masquerade. And the set designs of this have just been brilliant. I honestly don't think anyone else could have played Gareth apart from David Bowie. He's always been that sort of. I mentioned earlier how I don't know if Jareth is definitely a fey creature, but I think a little bit of that's also David Bowie as well. He does have that kind of. I don't mean that in a derogatory way. That's just a sort of yeah, fey vibes to him. You watch any interviews of him when he was like talking about various bits and pieces and stuff like that. It's like yeah, dude was no one else like him. I remember when he I want to check something about that when he that's it. He was originally called David Robert Jones, and he passed away in 2016. 8 years ago. Now I wonder how much look at Jennifer Connelly's expression there. How much of that is like her, acting? How much of that's like, "F me, I'm at a masquerade ball and I'm dancing with David Bowie." Yeah, probably a bit of both. You know what? If I was in that situation, I would probably have that same sort of like, "Holy crap, I'm dancing with David Bowie." Yep, she's starting to realise this is all a distraction. Expressive. Yeah, don't eat any more of that peach. That's that will you'll see some weird shit if you keep eating that. You were tripping balls. That's what you were doing, metaphorically and literally. Ew. Still, better to see a full worm than a half worm. Now, where have we seen that bear before? Yeah, yeah, that's not suspicious at all. Yeah, can't believe how many freaking clues are in that opening scene. Nah. Hmm. Starting to see a similarity between the what's going on. Why do you keep getting off the wind back? No, don't sit there. Yep. And there's the next lesson. She was focusing on basically the wrong things. Sorry, I have a cat who's been very demanding tonight. What's the matter? Because I'm talking. Yeah, must go quietly and bangs on the door. And Ludo just pushes open the door. And it's impressive that guard's still asleep. Yeah, this is out of. Part of me is convinced that this has come out of Jim Henson's RPG campaign. That is pretty impressive. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Oh, poor dog's shaking. Door golem. Yeah, it's a door golem. Yeah, it's slow, but it's very powerful, basically. So let's check back. And of course, Hoggle's the rogue. Dog makes sharp metal spikes wobble. You didn't see that. Now, strictly speaking, if it's got controls like that, it's not a golem. That would make it a mech suit. Because golems are autonomous. Well, okay, so we've got we've got basically the wild-shaped druid, Ludo. We've got the fighter, Sedidimus. We've got the rogue, Hoggle. Gareth is a fey creature, so I think Sarah would probably a bard. And she's a jack of all trades, and she does acting at the beginning and stuff like that. Kitty cat. Hmm. Chickens. Don't say that. Whenever you say that, the universe goes nope. So you're going to destroy your own town. Well done. Yeah, they're literally destroying their own town. But I suppose, no, from their point of view, they're scared poopless out of from Jareth. So it's like, we've got a choice. Suffer his wrath or destroy our own town. Let's destroy our own town. I thought he said something else just then. I won't lie. I legit thought it Sedidimus said something else just then. It's a word that sounds like sit. Obviously, I can't say what was going through my head, but it wasn't that word. It's the overconfident fighter. It's like the Rorschach approach. I'm not trapped here with you. You're trapped here with me. That was a good film, Watchmen. Oh, excuse me. You apologise. Very tired all of a sudden. There's another concussion. Yeah, how's Ludo going to fit in? But yeah, just as oh, he just opens the wall. It's not like they don't know where you've gone, mate. Does that goblin sound slightly Germanic? Or is that my imagination? I remember what happened the last time he did that. Yeah, yeah. I'm convinced Ludo's a druid. Maybe permanently stuck in wild shape mode. I don't know. Hello. Stop being a pain in the butt. Stop being naughty. Yeah. High charisma, low wisdom. Yeah, Ludo's definitely a druid. Oh, that. Oh wow, that poor chicken. I think that chicken legit got squashed by that. I shouldn't laugh, but oh dear. You can just tell they rolled that down and the chicken just decided to walk across the path at the wrong moment and the doctor going, yeah, you know what? Let's just leave it in. Make sure the chicken's okay. Just carry on filming. Yes, the ammo's basically sentient. Okay, considering the controls he has over the boulders and rocks, Ludo is terrifying. He, he's got to be a high level druid. Also, I need to check something. There's a character I'm trying to remember where it's from, and I don't know if it's from this film or not. I'm not going to say what it is in case I spoil it. Oh, it's from the Dark Crystal. Yes, okay. So, there was a bit when Sir Didymus was talking and doing this big yell that it reminded me of Fizzgig. And I couldn't remember if Fizzgig was in this film, but Fizzgig is from Dark Crystal. In fact, I can kind of see that they may have repurposed the Fizzgig puppet for Sir Didymus. Now that MC Escher's nightmare right here. Yeah, all this practical effects as well. No CGI. Maybe some composite shots or something, but yeah. That's really well done how they do that. Makes it actually look like he's moving to a different gravity plane. Like that. Okay. Now, how do you get to him there? That's really well done. Like, I mean, it's obviously like three different shots comped together, but yeah, how would that work? It's yeah, it's basically a 3D. Well, we'll say 3D. Yeah, if such a thing can apply to this place. A physical manifestation of an MC Escher painting. I think if you jumped from there, where would you go? Like, it's a magical realm, so the laws of physics are guidelines. Yep. Like you think you. Yeah, but I hope gravity works the way you think it does. Hmm. Yeah. If you. Yeah, it doesn't sound creepy at all. Yeah, that sounds really creepy as an adult. But I suppose that's kind of the point. Unsettling. Hmm. There we go. And there's the final lesson. Just in time. You better hope your little brother's there, or you're going to have some explaining to do to your parents. Toby's like, oh, damn it, Sarah, I was having a really good dream about the... Oh. You Pepper. Yeah. So you complete how she is now compared to how she was at the beginning of the film. There's a statue there as well. And there was so many. I just remember if her parents walking at that precise moment would be like, just close the door, walk away. Wait, stop being a little... No, you're being a little pain in the butt, stop it. And... You're knocking things off the desk, you cheeky little monster. She just knocked the mouse off the desk. And because I wasn't paying her attention, you cheeky little monster. You haven't done that for ages. Oh, granted, she didn't do it on purpose. She just got up on the desk and as she walked across it, it just knocked it off the desk. But still. There we go. Right. So, think about it, there wasn't actually that many, I can put it, live action people in this one. But yeah, yeah, so many voice actors and stuff like that, but puppeteers as well. So, right, because someone's being a bit grumpy, and I really need to use the bathroom. Fortunately, because she's been sitting on my lap and pressing on my bladder, which has not been comfortable. Excuse me. I'm going to call this an early night. Yes, Kit Kat. No. So, I am probably going to start a off-stream game of RimWorld because I am really freaking enjoying that game. Like, way more than I thought I was going to. Fiery 4 voice was Danny John Jules, yep. Danny John Jules, yep, for anybody who doesn't know, is the person who plays Cat from Red Dwarf. And he was also in, and this is going to be a very obscure British TV show, Maid Marian and Her Merry Men. It was a kids show in the mid to late 80s, if I remember correctly, and it was a should we say a interesting take on the whole Robin Hood thing, where it turns out that Robin Hood was actually just a very charismatic but highly incompetent at what he did, but Maid Marian was the brains behind the outfit, and she realised he can do the be the front man while she is the smart one directing them and stuff like that. Absolutely great show. It's from what I remember. It's probably dated a bit now, but yeah, I remember him in that, which was when Red Dwarf came along, and I'm like, I've seen him before. And then yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go to bed a bit early. Well, so I'm gonna log off, as I say. I'm not gonna go to bed for a few hours, but I do need to go to the bathroom. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing RimWorld for the foreseeable future, for a long time, so I get bored with it, or something happens, like I completely balk something with a mod or whatever. So that's going to be going for a while, because it is a game that's nice and chill. But I cannot. I want to play it so much, but I want to progress with things, but at the same time I don't. So how can I put it? I'm just going to start an off-stream save, really, so that the New Vegas is separate, and then something else will be this, and I'll use that as my testing stuff. But for now, my bladder. I've got to go. Bye.